Hello, everyone. Yes, we are live, both on our webinar platform and also on SME Banking TV. And if you are watching us on the YouTube right now, and if you would like to participate in today's discussion and ask questions to our speakers, please register to the webinar platform by the link that you see in the stream description. So let's start. My name is Olena Gryniuk. I'm CE Director at the SME Banking Club. I will host today's session. And today we speak about how to automate bank workflows and CRM with no code. And we will discuss the benefits and the features of using no-code platforms and at the example of the Croatia CRM and in the banking and financial sector, of course. So let me present at once today's speakers that are ready to share their knowledge and experience in that area. Wojciech Wojnar, partner at Optingo, Michał Krzycki, partner at Optingo, and Optingo is a company that specializes in customer experience and CRM solutions, and Mike Kryszczenko, VP of Sales for Central Europe at Croatia, a global vendor of one platform to automate workflows and CRM with no code. So welcome all of you.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here today.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go to our topic. So implementation of CRM is one of the pillars of building customer relations and a real understanding actually of customer needs and of course improving customer experience. If we look at the CE region, we see here that 60% of the banks implemented CRM, and it is both with the partnerships with the vendors or developing their own internal solutions. So let's discuss today how the rest of 40% of the banks can implement CRM fast and with less costs by using no-code solutions. And Wojciech, Michał, and Mike, I'm passing a word to you. Let's start the presentation, and afterward we will have a Q&A session. And please, I invite you, all of you, to type your questions in the chat, and we will answer all your questions in the second part of the webinar. So you're welcome.
Thank you, Olena. So hello, everyone. This is Wojtek Wojnar from Optingo. Let me quickly introduce you to our agenda today so that we can kind of look into this. So we're going to do a little intro in the beginning. That's going to be my part. Then Mike will gonna tell you more about the specific offering of Croatia for the financial institutions and banks. This will be gonna followed by a little demo of the on low-code, no-code platform, Croatia platform, that you can have a look and see by yourself. And then we're gonna end up in having Q&A session. So we're here for you. We will answer all your questions hopefully during the session. So Mike, would you like to say something in the beginning?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for that brief intro. This is the agenda for today. I just want to encourage everybody to also participate. This is the topic that we wanted to discuss because it's important how banks can utilize technology in the modern environment, which is very dynamic, very competitive, both from other banks or fintechs, and therefore the leveraging on the technology can bring some significant impact and outcomes to the business, which cannot and should not be neglected, right? So the goal of today's conversation is to talk about that, but then of course your input would be also highly appreciated because I know that we have quite a few professionals from the banking industry participating in today's discussion. So please, let's have a discussion after this intro, after we talk about the solutions, and of course you will have a chance to take a sneak peek and see the demo of the solution just to get that look and feel of how it might work in the real organization. So Wojciech, over to you.
Thank you, Mike. So without further ado, I'd like to start with explaining maybe how we understand no-code, low-code. We're going to use those terms throughout this presentation, and let me define it for you. And in a simplistic way, really what the no-code means, it means building software with a mouse. So you don't need to program. You don't need to code. You simply need a mouse, and you are able to produce a software solution and automate the process. How is that possible? Well, this no-code tools, they provide a visual interface and pre-built components. And therefore, with a drag and drop technique, you can simply, using those tools, you can simply build the software or automate processes. So this really makes the difference, because we all understand how IT was made in the past. Why we want to talk to you about the no-code today? Well, we believe that this is really the right time to discuss this topic, mostly because we are all living in the digital transformation age. Banks are under immense pressure to digital transform in order to stay competitive and relevant. And obviously, this whole digital transformation is really based on software. It always was, and now is even more dependent on the successful implementations of the software product. So, digital world really means software, and every business is a software business. And someone said that a couple of years back, and this is even more relevant these days. And we all believe and see that no-code development can play a critical role in helping achieving this transformation, digital transformation that is necessary for you to stay relevant. And moving forward, we all understand and remember the classical, I would say, processes and applications which are heavy to implement, heavy to maintain, and heavy to modify. And they are not super user-friendly as well. So this new world is, of course, completely different. We are living in these digital workflows, which are easy to use. They are supporting the customer journeys and can provide seamless experience across multiple touch points with the client. So this is absolutely critical, important these days to be able to build those digital workflows. And does it mean that every company is today prepared for this revolution and building those digital workflows today? Well, we don't really think so. And the basic reasons are related with this basic supply and demand problem that we observe on the technology market. If you look at the globally and of the number of developers available today, there's more or less, as some researchers say, about 25 million people around the globe. But on the other hand, we have more or less 500 million applications to be built in the next couple of years. So those two figures do not match. Those people available, classical developers, they're not able to produce this number of applications. And also because some of those existing developers are really maintaining the legacy applications. So what if we could tap into this huge number of people who are not technical maybe, but they know processes and they know the requirements, and they might be much more effective in developing those solutions. And this is why the low-code platforms and no-code solutions are so important, because they actually bring these capabilities to the knowledge workers. So today, with the help of the no-code platforms, we can tap into this big pool of people which won't be ready to develop solutions in a traditional way. And this was also already observed by the leading analysts. They actually claimed today that in a couple of years from now, more than 60% of the new applications going to be built using the no-code. So that's really the answer why it makes sense for you, for the banks, to really consider this initiative for the year to come. Because if you do not do that, I mean, your competitors will do that. So that this is really the only solution to stay competitive in the years to come. So to confirm the observations that were done on this general level, let me just tell you a few numbers from the Polish market. A very nice report done in the end of the last year. And it basically says that between 40 to 60 vacancies for the IT positions cannot be fulfilled by the companies for some unknown reasons maybe, but maybe the people are not available, or maybe they are just too expensive, right? But the end result being that companies cannot find the IT people to fulfill the vacancies they have. And this is really striking that in the end, the result of this situation causes that almost 20% or 20% of the projects are basically cancelled. So the companies cannot really start the project, the IT project, in order to meet the requirements of the company, because they do not have the IT people. So again, no code seems to be a good solution for that situation. And let me maybe quickly also summarize what are really the benefits of using no-code platforms. First and foremost, really this is about time and speed. Those platforms enable much faster implementations of the IT solutions. They're easier to start, easier to implement, and faster to implement. And in the end, of course, the end result being the solution, the software solution or the automated process is ready to be used much faster than in the traditional way. And of course, this impact as well the costs, because those projects are much shorter. They also require a lower number of people. In the end, the cost of these initiatives and those projects is significantly lower compared to the traditional IT development. And as Optingo, we have done traditional projects in the past. We're doing new projects now with Creatio, and we can actually confirm it that this is the factor of 2 to 3, even more sometimes, compared to the previous projects. Another interesting benefit is the alignment. Those platforms support collaboration between IT and business and the partner at the same time. So in the past, you need to sequentially pass over the requirements from business to IT, then to the vendor maybe. In this new world, those all parties work together on the same platform using the same processes. This is again super important for the result of the project. And of course, you can test new products and services relatively easily. It's just a matter of weeks to produce something and check whether it works or not. If it works, great. If it doesn't, let's do something else. So all those benefits are really we're going to show you later on today. So this is the reason why we as Optingo have decided to partner with Creatio after working with another leading vendors. We really believe that Creatio and their platform is a unique combination of 3 components. It's a unique CRM, it's a platform to automate processes, and at the same time is also all is done in the no-code fashion, which is so much important these days. And on top, Creatio is also very active in promoting the idea of the no-code. This is the publication which we highly recommend. Here's the link for the download. It basically helps you plan and implement a no-code project in your organization. And I think with this, I'm ready to hand over to Mike, who will tell us more precisely about the offering of the Creatio for the financial market. Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you very much, Wojciech. Thank you for explaining and drilling a bit more into the overall concept of the no-code. And I want to take this discussion further and talk about the single platform. Why is it important specifically for financial services like banks, fintechs, and other institutions working in this domain, and what kind of impact it can make and what benefits it can bring to the business, right? So first of all, why are we talking about that at all, right? This technology, which areas it can potentially impact, right? So the whole concept of a single platform, which is a no-code platform, combined with a tailored applications built on top of it for CRM, industry workflows, and other templates and connectors, can actually create that seamless enterprise environment where data can flow from one department to another without any silos or barriers. It can be used by different people and different roles, again, seamlessly, therefore generating a lot of benefits for the business. And here are just a few areas which can be significantly improved and impacted by kind of implementing and bringing this concept. I'm talking about customer experience, right, which can be optimized significantly by this processes automation and giving the access to the data. Then employee experience, which is the adoption of the solution, right? The organizations only benefit from the solutions when the employees are actually using them. But then overall visibility and control over the processes and workflows with a further optimization. And then, of course, which is very important, the fourth factor is the visibility for the leadership. And again, all of that can be improved with the introduction of this no-code platform and that one platform concept, right? Here we can see that there is a pre-built module of a CRM, which includes marketing, sales, and service, allowing to initiate your conversations with the customers and then seamlessly transfer this to the sales department, can be corporate or retail, and then service them to retain the customer and do the upsells and cross sells to the existing customer base. Then we're talking about industry workflows, which is everything, well, you can name starting from customer onboarding, cards, operation management, KYC processes, compliances, and so on and so forth, related to middle office, back office operations. And then, of course, important topic is templates and connectors, which can amplify the benefits of the solution by connecting this environment with other applications coming from the third party, like core banking solutions, like document management, OCR, and so on and so forth, creating even more synergy and benefits for the end users and for the organization overall, right? Therefore, it grants you the freedom to own your automation, where there are no specific development skills needed to create those applications, even though it still encourages the collaboration of IT department together with the business, where they can create better applications and solutions which can be used by the business right on the spot, and then which are able to evolve together with the business in very dynamic environment where change is essential, right, for getting the better competitive position and getting the benefits, on the market. Again, it can be built without any single line of code, and it can be delivered to the market significantly and much faster than the traditional development, for example. Then, of course, we are really proud that the solution is being highly recognized by world-leading analysts such as Gartner and Forrester, where we are standing in the leaders quadrant or in a strong performer way. But then again, what's very important to us is that the end users on such feedback platforms like GD Crowd, TrustRadius, Capterra, Gartner Peer Insights, and others, they highly recognize Croatia for its user-friendly interface, its usability in general, and the way that solution allows them to operate on the daily basis. So let's talk a little bit more about the solution itself. You will see that in the demo, because as I said at the beginning, we prepared a brief demonstration so that you can get that look and feel of the solution. But then again, just to explain the workflow map of the solution that we have created and actually built on this no-code platform. It all starts, of course, with marketing, with omnichannel communications, very smart segmentation, allowing you to be very precise and tailored when talking to your customers, down to sales for both corporate and retail, front office operations, automation, lending module, again, for corporate and retail, underwriting and verification, customer experience and customer service operations, compliance, and administrative services for internal processes automation. So when we're talking about marketing, we know that it's very important to start with this initial conversation with the customer, which has to be sharp, which has to be focused, and that can be achieved through, analyzing the data that you have stored on your customer 360-degree profile, come up with a tailored message, and AI can be of a help here significantly, right? And then approach only those customers who can, really benefit out of this message, and then convert into a real sale, where your relationship managers can take that further whether this is a retail customer or a corporate customer, right? And we have the respective modules for that, where the sales process is automated, and this is a very convenient interface to perform their daily tasks, both for corporate and retail, as I mentioned. And then, of course, the front office engagement, which relies heavily on the data from 360-degree view and gives that, a single source of truth for the employees, where they can find literally any data, any information about the customer, not only find, but also populate the respective fields, making the 360-degree profile even more complete, and then performing the customer onboarding, account opening, card operations, and so on. Then we come to the lending module, which is again exists both for retail lending and corporate lending, which are two very different processes, yet available under a single application divided into two different lines of business and branches. So it includes, of course, application management, loan origination processes, servicing, pipeline monitoring, and then a bunch of other workflows related to the lending process itself. Again, fully configurable and flexible because it is built on the no-code platform. So then naturally comes debt recovery. Again, can be used if this is a part of operations that you also run in your organization. Underwriting and verification with flexible approval processes, configuration, workflows, and again, very highly configurable and can be easily adjusted to the internal processes of the bank or fintech, for example. Customer experience and customer service, right? A convenient interface and an application to service your customer, make sure you are always on time, that you do not exceed your turnaround times of the incoming requests and submitted tickets, right? And the call center process automation, everything in a single application on that same single platform that we have just spoken about. Everything related to compliance, making sure you are in compliance with the regulation, GDPR, anti-money laundering, and so on. Again, very highly configurable and adjustable, making sure that you can generate the respective report or making sure that you are not missing up on your compliance. Administrative services, this is related to the internal operations when it comes, HR processes, some internal processes that has to be covered and have nothing to do with, customer-facing operations. Again, can benefit a lot from the data which is already available about the employees, about the operations. And of course, it all wrapped into a beautiful reporting capabilities which are available across all of the modules of Croatia. So I want to talk quickly about the success story of our customer that we are really proud of. This is our customer from Romania, OTP Bank, even though we work with OTP Group for quite a while already. With OTP Bank in Romania, we've been together for more than 5 years, which makes us really proud of that collaboration, because not only we were able to provide OTP with the relevant solution which covers multiple lines of business, but also they have created their own center of competence where they can develop, and they do actually constantly develop and improve their operations on Croatia, covering again a lot of their business parts. So among the key ones, I would stop on lending. We're talking about cash loan, online tool, application management, and verification of approval. Then comes customer onboarding and everything related to that. So they're like relationship managers and branches. They work in Croatia and use the solution for customer-facing operations and branches. And then data actualizations. We're talking about KYC. We talk about document management and the relevant reporting tools, right? So covering all of those different areas and using no-code actually allowed OTP to gain significant competitive advantage on the market, releasing solutions faster, empowering their people with the respective tools in a very dynamic environment. As I said, I'm on the first on the market, right? And For example, if we are talking about online lending, so OTP were the first bank to release that online banking and made them available both for their customers and employees, which allowed them to gain a significant advantage on the market. And that was only possible because of using the no-code development tools and the platform itself to release the functionality when it was allowed by the regulator, and no other banks were able to do that in such a high speed, right? Again, that makes us really proud. But not only OTP, we work with major banking groups across Europe, like Raiffeisen, like Societe Generale, and others, right? And we maintain the solution and keep on releasing new functionalities to make sure that it corresponds to the modern challenges and needs of the financial services sector. Again, so that was real briefly about the solution itself. And now I believe we are about to jump into the demo. So please prepare your questions. We'll be more than happy to continue that discussion with you as we move on. Thank you. Wojciech, over to you. I think we can kick off the demo now.
Croatia is a unique low-code application platform designed for automation of custom business applications and as well as CRM operations around marketing, sales, and service automation. The capability and the unique value of the platform is the options to actually host all of the core business operations for front office, middle office, and back office operations, as well as HR and human capital services under the same roof of the application. The journey of the solution usually begins across the understanding of a true customer 360 related to all of the areas of the communication with the customers around sales, marketing, and service communication, with the ability to aggregate all of the possible data under the same platform that provides a unique access to all of the touch points and all of the information that is so valuable for the users of the solution, together with the ability to understand such advanced capabilities as the next best offer for each individual customer, not only across retail, but as well corporate segments. But these capabilities can as well be extended into the processes of actually acquiring additional clients for each individual organization using Croatia. This is where our powerful marketing automation solution comes in play, that allows for the design of engaging marketing campaigns across multiple channels and multiple segments of target customers. All of the leads that are going to be generated from the marketing automation solutions across all of the different segments of customers will then be captured and qualified into applications, pre-calculations, opportunities, and ultimately signed products with the banks. From there on, with the help of our service automation platform, Croatia would allow seamless servicing of any possible customer request that is going to be registered within the application, and with the help of our powerful communication capabilities with the consultation ability, chatbot automation, seamless integration with emailing providers, and as well internal communication, this would allow for the bank users to use Croatia as a single solution across core business applications, spending less time navigating between all of the different applications and tools, but do more without the necessity of navigating between multiple applications during the day and be more productive and efficient. But the true power of the platform lays within its low-code capability. This is where, with the ability of graphical design interfaces, we have the ability to create very straightforward visual interfaces that will be engaging the users into their day-to-day activities, but as well help them to create powerful custom applications that will be then driving the user experience across multiple automation frameworks such as DCM and BPM, but it will as well allow a seamless connectivity across all of the different third-party applications and tools in the infrastructure of the bank, with simplistic capabilities in integrations of low-code engine, and as well to enrich the experience of the end users by allowing the citizen developers without any technical knowledge to create very powerful machine learning and AI models supporting and generating additional machine insights into the day-to-day work of all of you users across all of the departments working with Creatio.
All right, thank you very much, and I think we can start our Q&A session. My first question will be to you, and then we will start reading the ones. So let's read them and answer with the voice. When we speak about no-code solutions, do we speak about cloud-based solutions? Or because just why I'm asking this question, because I do hear from some of the banks in the region that they prefer in premises solutions. Does it also work in not cloud, let's say, version?
On premise.
Yeah. So when we're talking about no-code solution, it's actually available both on cloud and on-prem. We know that this is a very kind of relevant topic for the banks because most of them either like concerned about the security and the information they store, or they are limited by the regulations in particular countries and therefore not allowed to move completely to cloud. Therefore, they're still able to benefit from that technology. But of course, varies from one provider to another. When we're talking about Creatio, we offer the flexibility to our customers to work either in cloud or on their premises, right? And that makes literally no differences to the capabilities that they're getting. They're still getting full-blown solution, both on-prem and on cloud.
All right. I will read the first question. I see what you answered, but let's answer it with the voice. Martin is asking how much technical expertise is required to use a no-code or low-code platform.
Yes, I try to respond to this one. So basically, the whole idea is that you do not need a very specific technical knowledge to be able to use the platform, right? So in most of the cases, if we're talking about a no-code platform, so the platform which does not require the coding at all, then you don't really need to have lots of technical competencies. It is enough to have a business competence. And on top, of course, you need to be trained. Some initial training in the platform is required. This is nicely done by Creatio, by the way, in a series of available online trainings, all kinds of trainings available. So after a few days, you're really ready to use and automate the simple tasks. Of course, we help typically as a partner of Creatio in some more complex projects, but we have clients who after kind of initial project, they basically run on their own, and they're very happy with the platform, developing solutions and automating processes on their own. So it's absolutely possible.
Which capacity in general is needed from the bank side to implement and then to provide or to do this, to continue using usage the CRM? You mentioned that this is most business part. So and we also know that banks are very often restricted in human resources for new projects. Which capacity is needed even from the business side? From your experience.
Yeah, so I will start, maybe my colleagues will complement. What we typically see is that you need a core number of key users, we call them, from the business, who understands the processes that will be automated during the project. So this core team of several people who understand these processes, plus some basic IT team who understands the other aspects of the implementations, like integration with some external systems, because obviously IT is part of this exercise. We don't want to have the impression that this is not for IT. This is absolutely also for IT, but they also play the role where they are best, right? So meaning integration, security, all these things that we know the IT is best at. So the starting team is really does not need to be huge. It's really several people only, and this core team with the help of the partner. It's also a small team as well, typically from our side. So altogether, this small team can actually automate really big things during the short time.
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
the
Just
short
to echo.
Sorry, that was the short answer. The long answer could be referring to the low-code playbook, because then you have the great recipe how to build center of excellence. So for anyone interested on that subject, then encouraged to read the book.
Yeah, we will share it as well.
Absolutely. Just to echo my colleagues, I wanted to say that it's absolutely enough like business competencies to build the application on the no-code platform. But then again, we want this to be a part of the enterprise environment of the bank. And in order to integrate the solution and the application into that enterprise environment, this is where the help and the involvement of the IT department of the bank will be required. Therefore, we suggest kind of combining the effort of those two worlds of IT and business, building the so-called fusion teams, and you can read more about that in the book, and therefore you will be able to get the most beneficial outcome for the entire organization.
All right, we have the next question from Patricia. Is it possible to create our own processes, for example, approvals, etc., by bank employees without IT background?
Yes, I think Mike has mentioned that already. Absolutely possible. We've seen those cases of business purely from people purely from business departments doing the approvals, not only approvals, but even more complex processes, absolutely themselves.
Yeah, thank you for this question. That actually kind of contributes to the message when we are talking about owning your automation, right? So just with the concept in your mind, you can start building the workflow or the process, automating this with the no code, and then, start running this, and then identifying the bottlenecks. You can improve that over time by adjusting this with the capabilities of the solution, and therefore coming to the most optimal result, right? So it's not only that you have to have like a very well-defined concept. You can start with something from the top of your mind and create this in the solution, and then continuously improving this over time.
Next question comes from Cameron. What are the downsides of low code or no code versus traditional tools? Good question.
It is a good question. I'm starting to think about it, and I'm just keep thinking, cannot figure out really a good answer for that. Mike, can you help?
Yeah, I can help here because the no-code approach was created actually to address all of the issues of the traditional developments, right? I know it might sound really bald, but there are no downsides. Of course, there are like certain peculiarities that you have to keep in mind, but the approach and the concept itself was built to counter the the drawbacks of traditional development. Therefore, it is like a next version, a better version of traditional development. I don't think we should compare them, right? Traditional development is used for different purposes, and no code is there to be much faster and what's important to the business, and allowing to utilize those resources, which Wojciech showed on one of the first slides, like citizen developers, which cannot be utilized for the traditional developers, those people who literally don't have the deep technical skills and still can contribute to the application development on the org level.
And we have the next question from Cameron. What if my bank has super unique and complex processes which stretch beyond the use cases of low code and no code? What would you say?
Then we gotta talk. Yeah.
Let's talk. I think we will be able to maybe show you that the platform is super flexible. I mean, we do not see the limitations on the platform itself in the process flow or workflow as such. Maybe there are some super specific cases which we need to obviously discuss and would be great to do that. But so far, in a typical business scenarios at the bank or other clients, we have not seen that bottleneck, to be honest.
Plus, what is also unique for Croatia, I believe, as the low-code, no-code platform is that it gives you also this your choice if you want to go the development way, and it's still possible on the platform. So you can also customize if you want, and if it's your well thought through choice, then it's still possible. So Croatia allows you to do that. So for that case, if really you meet the limit of the no code, low code due to some crazy things you want to accomplish, then you can still do it in Croatia platform. You can create custom code using traditional languages like C#, and you can still it can be also part of the solution, and also interact with the low code processes that you automated on the platform.
Yeah. Let's talk here a little bit about the integration, with the core system and other systems. And I will add to this question also, how long does it take to launch and to integrate a no-code CRM? From your experience as well. I mean, I can understand that it's probably depends on the scope usually, but maybe on average.
As the consultants like to answer, it depends.
Yeah.
But it depends on the scope of the project integration. But we had the project that lasted for like a few weeks, and that was fully operational system. And we also had the projects that we had several phases, and that was almost a year. So it all depends.
Yeah, so the key factors, please, Wojciech.
Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to mention that the integration, because there was a question about the integration. So integration from the low-code platform perspective, which is Croatia, is easy because it's an open platform, supports all the right standards. So from kind of the platform point of view, this is easy to integrate. Typically, the bottlenecks are on the legacy systems, which are, say, older, and their integration possibilities are not that developed like this modern platform. So this is where most of the time we really spend our efforts on discussing about the legacy system side rather than the low-code platform.
Yeah, there are like few items that have to be considered here, like whether we are just migrating from another solution or we are trying to build something from scratch, whether we have processes ready or we have to run workshops where we need to create those specifications, which will then be kind of brought into the system, right? The set of integrations, the legacy that Wojciech also mentioned, it all influences the time frame. But again, because of the flexibility of the solution itself, once we have these kind of blueprint in place, it can be brought to life much faster because of the flexibility and time to market that no-code technology grants.
Since there are core banking system mentioned here, though, obviously just to confirm that with those references that Mike presented, that was already done on several banks, right? Shown, and also a lot of other banks as well. So those connections and integrations are done on a kind of a daily basis with other banking systems.
All right, we have the last question from Patricia. Yes, about the training and support options available for users of no-code and low-code platforms. You mentioned it that you do provide a training and also available in the online format, right? On the YouTube. All right, my last question to wrap up to the session will be. Please give to our attendees your tips from your experience how to implement a CRM successfully in the bank.
Well, that's a big question for the wrap-up. Yes, but let me start, and my colleagues obviously will complement that. My point of view, I think you need to be somehow prepared to what you want to do, right? I mean, it's really good to have thought through the sales process. If we're talking about the CRM, obviously CRM can be everything starting from marketing through sales up to the customer service. So, well, depends on which area we're talking about. But this way or the other, you need to really understand what you want to achieve, what problems you want to solve, what bottlenecks you have today, because this business context and understanding will help us together develop solution that will kind of meet and resolve those problems and meet your objectives. So I think this business preparation, thinking about what you want to achieve with the solution, thinking about the processes itself, thinking about, in the end, what forms and fields you want to have at some stage, right? So being ready for that. If you're ready with this kind of overall analysis or pre-analysis, then the overall implementation project is really much faster. And because we do not spend time on kind of trying to find out the answers for the questions which might be already kind of available before.
Yeah, so a few kind of observations from my end based on the experience, right? So it all starts with the leadership, right? So there should be a strong leadership on the side of the organization, and the will to implement some changes and do the improvements. Also, the recommendation is to be agile and not to try to boil the ocean overnight. So start small. We call this crawl, walk, run. So start with some smaller initiatives which can there still bring a huge impact to the business, and then add complexity and functionality on top of it, and tease that within the organization. Think about the adoption, keep people prepared and involved in the process of implementation. Don't just dump this on their heads and then force them to use something new. Get their involvement, get their feedback, and then continuously improve. And the best thing here is that no-code actually allows you to be agile, to be flexible, and then continuously improve and evolve over time together with the business.
Yep. Thank you very much. Michal, would you add something?
No, nothing to add. Probably emphasize to what already Mike mentioned, but to use the power of the platform. So to use prototyping throughout not only implementation but also analysis or designing the solution. So not to do the old school. So have a nice looking design on paper. Don't do it. Do it agile manner. We use a lot of prototyping. We just work from the first workshops with the client, using the system. Clients see what they will get, and then agile approach. We do sprints, and we first try to implement what is called MVP. So most valuable product. So something that makes sense for the business, but it's not everything, because you cannot do everything at once. And it's better to do what really brings value, because then organization learns. And we experienced that the original requirements that we had starting project then evolved after an MVP implementation. So business realized that what they wanted some time ago, now they are looking for something else, which is a good approach, because then there is no rework. We just then reprioritize requirements, and we then improve MVP, including the new requirements which make sense for the business. So
yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michal, Mike, and Wojciech. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much to all our attendees for being very active today. And we will send the link to this webinar, to the video recording and the presentation, and also contacts to our speakers. And if you would like to learn more and go more into details than we did today during this webinar, you are welcome to contact our speakers, and they will be glad to give you more knowledge and share with you more details. So thank you very much, and goodbye. See you next time online. Thank you.
Thank you all.